The night my boss asked me to pretend to be her husband for a year, I almost dropped the coffee mug in my hand. Just 1 year, she said calmly, as if she were asking me to stay late at the office. After that, we divorced quietly. I stared at her, wondering if this was some kind of joke. But Elena Hartwell never joked in the office. She was the cold, brilliant CEO who ran the company like a perfectly tuned machine. The kind of woman who never smiled, never made small talk, and never showed weakness. And I was just Daniel Rivera. A widowed single dad.an employee who cleaned spreadsheets by day and cooked dinosaur-shaped chicken nuggets by night for his 5-year-old daughter. So let me get this straight, I finally said slowly. You want me to pretend to be your husband for a whole year? She nodded. And people will believe we're married? Yes. I rubbed the back of my neck. And we'll be living together? Yes. I blinked. Okay, I muttered. One more question. She raised an eyebrow. I took a deep breath. So, we're sharing a bed? For the first time since I'd known her, Elena Hartwell looked completely speechless. 3 hours earlier, my biggest problem had been my daughter refusing to eat broccoli. Broccoli is evil, Lily declared dramatically, crossing her arms at the dinner table. Broccoli is healthy, I replied patiently. Healthy things are suspicious. I sighed. Being a single dad wasn't easy. After my wife passed away 3 years ago, everything changed overnight. I had to learn how to braid hair, pack school lunches, and survive bedtime stories that somehow lasted 2 hours. But Lily made it worth it. Her laughter filled the quiet spaces my wife left behind. That night, after finally convincing Lily to eat exactly 2 pieces of broccoli, I tucked her into bed. Daddy, she whispered sleepily. Yeah, kiddo? Are you lonely? The question hit me harder than I expected. Sometimes, I admitted softly. She thought for a moment, then said, maybe you should get a wife again. I chuckled. Life doesn't work like ordering pizza, sweetheart. She yawned. Still, it would be nice. I kissed her forehead. Good night, Lily. I had no idea that a few hours later, life would hand me the strangest offer imaginable. Back in Elena's office, the silence stretched between us. You don't have to decide tonight, she said finally. Good, I replied quickly. Because I'm still trying to figure out if this is real. She folded her hands. It's real. Why me? Her gaze softened slightly. Because you're trustworthy. That surprised me. You barely know me. I know enough, she said. You leave work exactly at 5 every day to pick up your daughter. You never lie on reports. You turned down a promotion once because it required travel. I blinked. You noticed all that? Of course. For someone known as the coldest boss in the company, Elena was surprisingly observant. But why the fake marriage? I asked. She hesitated. Then she said quietly, my grandfather owns 60% of this company. Okay, he's retiring next year. But there's a condition. I waited. He'll only transfer full control to me if I'm married. I stared at her. You're kidding. I wish. Why? He believes a married person is more stable. That's ridiculous. Yes, she said dryly. But he's 82 and extremely stubborn. So you need a husband, I said slowly, a temporary one. And you chose your employee? Specifically, she corrected, a man with integrity and no interest in my money. I laughed. Fair point. I'm broke. Then reality hit me. My daughter, I said. Elena nodded. She can live with us. That sentence changed everything, because suddenly, this wasn't just about me. It was about Lily. A bigger home, better schools, security, but also, a lie. I need time to think, I said. Take it. That night, I barely slept. At breakfast, Lily noticed. Daddy, you look like a zombie. Thanks. What's wrong? I hesitated, then I said, how would you feel about moving to a really big house? Her eyes widened. With a backyard? Yes. And a dog? Let's not get ahead of ourselves. She tilted her head. Why? I sighed, because my boss asked me to pretend to be her husband for a year. Lily blinked, then she shrugged. Okay. Okay? Yeah. I stared at her. You're 5. Aren't you supposed to be confused? She dipped her pancake in syrup thoughtfully. As long as she's nice. Kids made everything simple, adults complicated it. 2 weeks later, I moved into Elena Hartwell's mansion. The house was so big Lily got lost twice on the first day. Daddy, she shouted from somewhere upstairs. This house has too many rooms. Elena watched quietly as Lily ran past us laughing, then she said softly, she's adorable. Thank you. There was an awkward pause, so, I said. About the sleeping arrangements. Her cheeks turned faintly pink. There are 2 bedrooms. Right. But for appearances, she added carefully, some nights we may need to pretend. Yes. I grinned. You know, when you first said fake marriage, I didn't think it would come with scheduled sleepovers. She rolled her eyes, but I noticed something new. She almost smiled. Living together wasn't easy at first. Elena worked late, I handled Lily's routines. The house felt like 2 separate worlds under one roof until one evening, everything changed. I came home to find Elena sitting on the kitchen floor, surrounded by crayons. Lily was explaining something very seriously. And this is Daddy, she said, pointing to a stick figure. And this is me. Then she drew another figure, and this is you. Elena looked at the drawing like it was priceless art. What's this? She asked gently. Our family picture. The room went very quiet. I expected Elena to correct her. To say this wasn't real, but instead, she whispered, it's beautiful. And for the first time, I saw tears in my boss's eyes. Months passed, the fake marriage started feeling less fake. Elena learned how to cook pancakes. I learned she secretly loved cheesy romantic movies. Lily started calling her Miss Elena with a grin, and sometimes, when Elena laughed at something silly Lily said, the house felt warm in a way it never had before. But every lie has a deadline. And ours was approaching. 1 year. 1 contract. 1 ending the night before the anniversary of our marriage. Elena stood on the balcony looking at the city lights. Tomorrow it's over, she said quietly. I nodded. You'll get the company. Yes. And we'll go back to normal. Silence. Then Lily ran onto the balcony holding her drawing from months ago. Family hug, she demanded. She pulled us together. 3 people. 1 fake family. But in that moment, it didn't feel fake at all. And Elena whispered something so soft I almost missed it. I wish this year wasn't a lie. I looked at her and realized something terrifying. I wished the same thing, because somewhere between the pretend wedding rings and bedtime stories, we had accidentally built something real, and letting go of that might be the hardest thing either of us had ever done.